Hey, what's up, everybody, and welcome back to KRSTV. This is your boy Kenny, and this is a Black Diamond video. And I know it's been a minute since I've done one. You know, I'm always busy working, but I haven't forgotten about you guys. But this is something I had to talk about because it's been on my mind all week. Even though it happened a week ago, it's still relevant now as it was then. And I'm talking about that crazy ass Verzuz between Omarion and Mario. Now, the whole damn thing was crazy because it started late as fuck. You know, and this was the first time that at a Verzuz, I actually saw a pre-show. And it consisted of Ray J, Bobby Valentino, Pleasure P, and Sammy. They did a pre-show, and their pre-show was like damn near about 2 hours long. And man, was it some crazy ass fuckery throughout that whole entire situation. I mean, it was giving me like, uncles at the damn cookout that be giving struggle vocals, because they voices ain't together. I was literally getting that. The only one I think that sounded decent or really sounded really good was Sammy. Sammy has a phenomenal voice, but the way Sammy was acting was a turn off for me because he was doing too much, and he kept coming for Ray J. And Ray J, oh my god, and the worst thing about it, this happened in front of his sister, Brandy, the vocal Bible, the legend. His vocals were not there at all. He even had the nerve to say it was because he was holding his son. No, boo-boo. When you hold babies, babies make you sing better. Your voice just wasn't there. And then come to find out that he was tripping on that George Clooney. That made perfect sense. That Casamigos. Oh yeah, that Casamigos will knock you on your ass. And Ray J was just doing the most. I mean, even to the point that his sister later got him together and said that you did not drink that tea that I specially made for you, and you were supposed to be on vocal rest, and yet you wouldn't keep your mouth shut. Even to the point now that he's now working to redeem himself because the guys have gotten together and said that they're trying to redeem themselves because they've been getting roasted on social media for that farce that they call a pre-show. And also, you can tell that Ray J feels bad because he let his sister down, and he's let down his fans. I'm like, we know Ray J ain't the... I wouldn't say he's like the best singer, but Ray J does have a decent sound. I mean, I fucks with Ray J. I'm a big Ray J fan. I've been fucking with Ray J ever since he was Willie Norwood on the Sinbad show. So I'm a huge Ray J fan. I like him as a personality, love him as a businessman, love him as an actor. I even love him as a singer. But yeah, it was not there. Like when he was doing One Wish, and then when they started to harmonize One Wish and he got in his feelings, I was like, oh my god, this is some shitty mess right here. But here he is, like later on, he's been doing like these live feeds with Bobby Valentino and Sammy, as well as Pleasure P, and he's saying that he got to redeem himself, he got to get back, even to the point now that he's working with his father. Pops Norwood was giving him vocal lessons because their father is a phenomenal singer too. I mean, in all honesty, that's where Brandy gets it from. She learned a lot of her skills from her dad, and her dad would always shut it down up in the church. They from Mississippi. Mississippi, they don't play around. So the thing is, yeah, Ray J is like on this thing, like he got to redeem himself. He got to get that voice back. I'm like, yeah. And you need to follow the scriptures from the vocal Bible, bruh. You don't have the vocal Bible in your family and you don't listen to that. I mean, look at all of her accomplishments. Look at the fact how just at the BET Awards, she shut it down spitting verses. Like, Brandy's phenomenal. I've been a Brandy fan ever since I was a kid. Hell, I remember like having the little headset in the living room, dancing the baby and singing along with it as if I was her dancing up in Times Square. That's how hard I fucks with Brandy. I even fucked with her when she was on Thea. Like, I'm a huge Brandy fan. Me and my best friend, shout out to my boy Kenneth Tukes at the K2 Spot. Check out his YouTube channel and check out his latest interviews. But yes, that was insane. that whole situation. You know, Pleasure P up there giving drunk uncle and shit, talking all that shit. I got an uncle just like Pleasure P. Every time he come around, he fucking with somebody and he talking shit. And that's exactly what Pleasure P was giving. And I'm just sitting there looking at this shit like, are you fucking serious right now, bruh? You know, pretty much it. I mean, the thing about it, I think a lot of it had to do with the fact that because there's this big rush being on Verzuz. The hype is big. You know, Verzuz has literally become a staple in our culture. You know, and when you on that stage, you feeling the adrenaline, and I don't think they were able to channel it. And then on top of it, they was drinking. Y'all R&B singers, y'all asses ain't supposed to be drinking before you go on stage. This ain't a damn hip-hop concert, even though hip-hop and R&B pretty much had merged together, but still, you're doing R&B, bruh. So shout out to Q Parker from 112 and RL from Next. They did a live together and they discussed this, that we got to do better with R&B, because what that was just unacceptable, and I completely agree. So when I saw that go down, I was just like, man, these motherfuckers are tripping. You know, because I'm a fan of all of them. You know, I love Bobby V, but his voice wasn't all the way there. Sammy sounded really good, but he was tripping, doing the most. But Sammy's shady as shit. because when they did that live together, when they was like, this was after the Verzuz and everything, and they did that live with each other, he was still shading the shit out of Ray J. He was like, oh yes, you know, I'm about to go out to Vegas, I'm gonna have fun, I'm gonna party, and then I'm gonna go on Vocal West, and I'm gonna drink that tea from Brandy, you know, the drink that you were supposed to drink that you did not drink. I was like, you asshole! And Ray J's face was just he's like, dude, he's like, I'm sorry, I went too far. Like, yeah, stop doing that shit, Sammy. The man felt bad enough, but I thought it was cute. I thought it was hilarious because I'm like, he's still taking jabs at Ray J. But Sammy's voice is that business though. And personally, I think they would make a good reality show because all of them come with some shit. All of them come with some mess. And they both, even when you listen to them, they literally were doing the same thing they were on stage, over talking each other, you know, trying to, you know, be the alpha of the situation. That's like reality TV goes. So if they do a reality show with them trying to do like a group project together or them redeeming themselves, I'm so here for it. I think it'll be great TV. Now that I got that out the way, let me talk about the actual Verzuz. You know, because Omarion and Mario didn't get on stage till like about 11 o'clock. You know, pretty much the generation that came up with you are now in their 30s. They got families. They got jobs. They got to be in bed so they can get up in the morning. But here we go. The whole thing starts, and immediately the glass ceiling has been broken. We come to find out, because I'm a huge fan of both of them, but I'm also a fan of Omarion. I mean, MIA is my shit. I love that song. I mean, I love Touch, Entourage, Icebox. I mean, I love all the bops. But then when that boy started to open his mouth and started to do all this shit, I'm like, what the fuck is going on over here? What? Huh? What the fuck? That was my reaction the whole time. But Mario came through with the vocals and he shut the shit down and was roasting Omarion throughout the entire thing. See, I think the one thing that Mario did wrong, he approached this whole thing as if he was at the Millennium Tour. No, bruh, this is Verzuz. All you need is one mic. That's all you need at Verzuz. Yeah, you got the DJ, you may have a band there, but all you need is one mic. This crazy fool had all of these different gimmicks and bells and whistles. Him and his brother Orion coming out there eating fucking watermelon and shit. I'm like, when did we ever do this shit at Verzuz? What the fuck is this? I mean, I think Omarion, as much as he say he's unbothered, he is the most he's the most bothered man if I ever saw one. Because it was clear he was getting in his feelings because Mario was lighting his ass up throughout the whole entire thing. Like the part when he asked him to get his glasses, and you could just tell Omarion was in his damn feelings because he's making him look bad. Especially when when Mario started doing the jam, like I can hear your heart crying out for me, and had the audience singing with him. You just look at damn Omarion. Marion's face was so fucking twisted. See, Omarion be getting people going thinking that he ain't bothered, but no, he's very bothered. And a lot of that came out after the Verzuz, because throughout the whole thing, this just goes to show you that R&B needs help. And sadly, the one person who could have helped R&B is now serving 30 years in jail. And sorry, but old boy got what he deserved. And y'all can get down in those comments and talk about it if y'all want to. But yeah. Oh boy got what he deserved. Y'all know who I'm talking about. But getting back to what I mean by the glass ceiling has been broken, we realized that Omarion can't sing. Now, personally, I knew he wasn't the best singer, but he's a great performer. He's a great entertainer. But the truth, and I think the reason why Mario was roasting him the way he was because he's getting tired of the bullshit. Here it is. He's an authentic singer. He's an authentic artist. And here it is. You got to compete with people who don't have as much talent as you do, but yet they got the machine behind them. I'm going to tell you what it is. It's called the industry. The industry likes artists like that because they have more control, and they can actually control the bells and whistles, and they can tweak the sound and all of that, and they have more control over the artist. See, the industry wants to control the artist and control the artistry. With an authentic artist, it's hard to do that because the artist don't need all the bells and whistles. They don't need all the auto-tune or the mixing and all of that. They can just authentically sing and shut it down in the studio as well as live. But for a studio artist who doesn't have that authentic talent, it gives them more to work with and more to have control over. I mean, we have many examples of this. I mean, take Frank Farian with Boney M and Milli Vanilli. Like, when I think of Boney M, Frank Farian was the actual lead singer of that group. But he had this, I think he's from Honduras, I think. Or he's definitely from the islands, I forgot. But the lead singer, he was just a really great dancer and a great performer. And I was just like, interesting. This is a blueprint. And this is exactly what Omarion is. And a lot of that got revealed because even during the show, Mario was coming at Omarion was saying that, look, he was like, why in the hell you bring out B2K, man? Look like you need them niggas. And he's like, please, I am B2K. I was my voice is on all them vocals. I'm everything. And then hold on real quick. Hello? Yeah? Alright, hold on. Sorry about that, y'all. I might leave it in or I might cut it out. It all depends how I feel. But here it is. Once Omarion kind of threw that out there, oh, I am B2K. My voice is on all of them tracks. I'm the one that's doing all them vocals. And then Mario's like, oh. Now that was Little Steve on them vocals, bruh. Shout out to Little Steve. I was like, oh, shit. Like, he really did not hold back whatsoever on how he felt or what the situation was. And later on, this came out once, the rest of the members of B2K pretty much, had that icon with David Ruffin being fired from the Temptations, saying that he got served because Mario did serve his ass. Like, and you can tell Omarion was bothered. So Omarion decides to clap back and pretty much says that they were his background dancers and that the UPS is hiring and all of that shit. Oh, J Boog wasn't having the shit. The post that he did on IG has now been taken down, but he did like this 6-page rant, and he read the dog shit out of Omarion and about the whole process, about how he really can't sing. He really, right now he's thinking that his brand is so great, but yet his brand is not bigger than B2K, and really the people want B2K because that is the moneymaker. Yes, he's established a brand on his own, but he's no longer at the heights that he used to be. Like, that damn Boog, literally, Boog is not somebody you want to fuck with. Because Boog literally gave Omarion the business and that shit. But then there was some truth to it. Especially when he has said that when it came down to B2K, the favorites were Fizz and Boog, himself. And I'm like, I can't deny that. He was exactly right. Because I remember my little girl cousins, Kayla and Rain, when they were, they grown women now with children of their own, but when they were little girls, they were huge B2K fans, and they would do dance routines, and they would always scream when they would come on TV. They would sing their songs all the time. They were B2K fanatics, if I ever saw any. And their favorites were Boog and Little Fizz. They were not gagging over Omarion, and they weren't gagging over Raz B. Me personally, Raz was my favorite because I thought Raz was fine. But anyway, that's just me keeping it real. But yeah. So when he started sharing all this shit, and then he confirmed what Mario said, that Steve Russell, the lead singer of Troop, was not only was he a songwriter on their first album, but he was the one doing the vocals on all of those tracks. And what they did is what they call mixing, where they add your voice to someone else's voice, mix it together, and create a whole sound. That's what I'm saying. The industry does this shit all the time. Like that whole scandal with Milli Vanilli, that was only a scandal because they got exposed, but the industry's still been doing that shit. That shit hasn't stopped at all. And they found more creative ways of doing it, like with auto-tune, as well as mixing and altering the sound. It also makes me think of the fact that there's so many artists like Omarion who we would define as studio artists. Artists that are created by the studio, by the industry, and they have the big machine behind them, and we think that they're all this great, but if you take all away the bells and whistles, what do you have? And this is just a reality. This is a reality that goes on in the music industry. And hell, they've done movies about it. Take Dreamgirls for an example. One of the scenes that stands out in Dreamgirls for me is the scene between Curtis and Dina at the dinner table, where she wants to branch off and be an actress, but she wants to do the movies that she wants to do and not necessarily the movie that Curtis wants her to do. And Curtis literally rips her heart out of her chest, where he pretty much says, the reason why I asked you to sing lead, because your voice has no personality or no depth, except when I put in. He literally told Dina to her face that she wasn't shit. And you can see it in her face dropped. Like, Beyonce did a damn good job acting in that movie. Because all of a sudden she thought that she meant something to him. She really thought she was a very talented individual. But he kind of let her know, no, the real one with the talent, because we all know the real talent out of Dreamgirls was Effie White. But Effie was cast away for Dina. Why? Because Dina was his personal project. He can control and manipulate her sound, which is exactly what he was doing. And that's exactly what he was saying. I've been alternating and manipulating your sound to make you sound better than you really do sound. So really, bitch, you ain't got no damn talent. I made you, and this is why the industry does this, They want to have complete control over the artist. And that's why in a lot of these cases, there's a lot more money being taken from the artist because they put so much manufacturing behind the artist, and there's more of a profit on the industry side. Now, another movie that I think you all should check out, I just got this in the mail, but this is a movie I watched a lot when I was growing up. It's called Out of Sync. This movie actually appeared on VH1. And this movie really discusses the real value of what really goes on in the industry. Like, you have the woman on the left who really has the voice. She's like a soccer mom, and she really has the talent, but just doesn't have the look. And she also suffers from stage fright. Hold on. Then you got this one right here, who's a sex siren, who's screwing this record executive, as well as a producer, has no talent, but they switch voices. They put her voice with hers. And literally the icon is, what you see isn't necessarily what you hear. That's the industry for you. Hold on right quick. Oh, thank you. Sorry about that, y'all. But yeah, this is the reality. This is something that always, this is something that's common business practice. So pretty much I would say in this Verzuz, Omarion got exposed. Now, do I think he still is talented? Absolutely. I mean, the man can dance his ass off, but literally that's what Boog said. He's a dancer on a record label. That's true. But he's a great dancer. He's very entertaining. So his career would go on, but do I think he may lose some fans? Possibly. But according to him, his streaming still went up, and he got that check from Verzuz, so he good. At the end of the day, we now know what he's really after. He don't give a fuck what nobody says, and that's fine. But as I said, with this Verzuz, we now know the real state of R&B, and R&B is on life support. So we need more artists like Mario who are true singers, who don't need all the bells and whistles, but can just stand flat foot and sing and move the crowd. And that was everything, because literally everybody was betting that Omarion was going to beat Mario. Now, if he had B2K, he would have had a shot, because B2K is a global phenomenon. If he would have had J-Bug, Lil Fizz, and Razby on stage with him doing them B2K records, oh, they would have killed Mario. I definitely would have think, yeah, it would have been team Omarion and B2K. Like, real talk. But without that whole setup, Omarion doesn't really have he doesn't really have all the smoke by himself. And he has to pull from bells and whistles. I mean, child, when he brought out Jeremiah and Tank, now I love Tank, but Tank's vocals weren't really up to par of the night either. Well, on the par of that night either. I'm like, this is like a week early, and I'm saying like it's actually now. I'm tripping. But here it is. Jeremiah, he had them flowers. Bro, you should have just gave out them flowers and not say nothing. But when this fool opened his mouth, the voice was not there at all. And I'm wondering, are you another studio creation too? But then I know that he just survived COVID, and I thank God that Jeremiah is still with us and that he survived it. I mean, even me being a community health worker who works in the field of COVID and the vaccinations and all. So I'm glad that he's made it through, but bruh, you had no business up in there singing, and you were not ready. Like, where was the sound check? Where were y'all doing your vocal lessons? Do y'all realize this was going to be seen streaming all over the world. Like, yeah, we ain't gonna forget this shit. This shit is gonna go down in the books. Like, here it is, these guys who had hits in yesteryear and now giving struggle vocals, and the only person that can still really deliver is Mario. Sammy can too, but Sammy just gotta work on that extra shit. He too damn hype, and he need to channel that shit. But other than that, I love Sammy. Sammy really has a great voice, and Sammy can really sing. But really, the man of the night was Mario, because Mario really made this Verzuz entertaining. He really showed what true R&B is, just soulful singing, and singing to the crowd of ladies, making them feel good, singing, to the fellas, like, yeah, I gotta play this Mario so I can get my girl ready, and Mario delivered. Whereas Omarion failed miserably. So that's my take on it, y'all. Get it out in those comments and let me know your thoughts. I mean, even if you disagree with what I'm saying, you're open to that, but be respectful. But yeah, let's chat this up about this in the comments, y'all, because this was definitely a Verzuz that I will never forget. And that's on some real shit, y'all. But that's what I got for you. That's what I got for you, y'all. If I missed anything, put it down in the comments. Or if you noticed something about this Verzuz that you would like to share, put it down in the comments. I love to read them. I respond to my comments, and I love to interact with you guys. So until next time, everybody, take care.